Senator, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
This energy story seems to be changing every day. I want to make sure I have it straight. It's been played up a lot in stories that you were against drilling and tapping the petroleum reserves, but you've reversed on that. Now you're for both. You want to compromise on energy. So you don't really favor drilling, but for political reasons, you're going to change your position. This is change we can believe in, Senator?
Well, John, I think, as usual, you have been provocative, but misstated my position. So what I've said is that we can't drill our way out of the problem, and that's what I've said from the start. What I've also said is that we've got to focus on alternative energy. In Nevada, solar obviously is critical, wind power, biofuels, making energy-efficient cars, plug-in hybrids that can get 150 miles per gallon, making sure that we've got the kinds of energy-efficient buildings that can be designed right now, all of which could create a much more energy-efficient economy than we've got right now.
But
what I've also said, hold on, no, John, hold on.
Right.
You asked a question, let me answer it.
Finish, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. What I've also said is that there's room for domestic production in the overall energy mix, using the 68 million acres of leases that have already been given to oil companies, making sure that we are using the oil fields that exist to potentially get more oil out of them. If we do all those things, if I've got a comprehensive package that is moving energy efficiency forward, and the Gang of 10, this group of senators on a bipartisan basis, say we want, as a part of that, some limited increases in drilling, then I'm not going to be dogmatic about it. That's not being political. That's common sense, John, to give relief to the American people, but more importantly, to set ourselves on a path of energy efficiency over the long term.
Well, I guess what the American people might want to know, though, Senator, is what's the real difference between you and John McCain? You're running this ad tying him to the industry, saying he's taken all these contributions. But as you well know, there's a story out today about how you supported the Dick Cheney bill, and he opposed it. That bill gave subsidies to the oil and gas companies. John McCain opposed it, saying those are tax breaks for those companies. Barack Obama favored it.
Hold on a second. John, I thought I was talking to you as opposed to debating John McCain, but I'm happy to let you serve as his proxy. The fact of the matter is that I supported that energy bill, saying at the time that those tax breaks were wrong, but also recognizing that this was the largest investment in alternative energy in history, and that it was important for us, for the solar industry, to get off the ground in places like Nevada, for wind to get kicked off the ground, that was something that we had to do. And I immediately said during that time and subsequently that we should strip out those tax breaks for oil companies. And I would point out that in December of last year, we had a vote to strip out those tax breaks for oil companies. There was one senator who did not vote on that measure, and that was John McCain. And that money would have gone into alternative energy. But look, people aren't interested in sort of this tit for tat. They're interested in figuring out how are we actually going to get something done. And I have consistently supported fuel efficiency standards on cars. John McCain's opposed them. I've consistently supported solar power. John McCain's opposed them. I've consistently supported wind power. John McCain's opposed it. I've consistently supported biofuel development. John McCain has opposed it. There are some differences. For example, John McCain is in favor of Yucca Mountain. I'm opposed to it. There are some clear contrasts here, but the notion that somehow there's no difference between John McCain and myself on energy policy is simply not true.
Well, of course, that's not what I said, but at the risk of being called...
I thought that is what you said. You said, what was the difference?
I was saying, I was playing devil's advocate, which I'll do again.
Okay.
At the risk of being called John McCain's proxy yet again. I'll ask you, you know this, Senator, you say tit for tat. You've talked in your whole campaign about rising above the politics as usual. You yourself, though, also know there's a fine line between flip-flopping and flexibility on policy. Maybe if there's a crisis in the future with nuclear waste storage, maybe you'll just say to Nevadans, well, I was against Yucca Mountain, but guess what? Now I'm for it.
No, well, John, don't put words in my mouth or anticipate what I'm going to do. I've been opposed to Yucca Mountain from the start. So if the suggestion is John McCain, who is in favor of Yucca right now, should get a pass on that.
I didn't say that.
Whereas I, who am adamantly opposed to it, somehow might be second guessed. I think that doesn't make sense. Look, the fact of the matter is I think actually there's room for nuclear power in our overall energy mix. But the key is that we do have to figure out a safe storage strategy. Yucca has proven to be a poorly designed approach to the problem. And one of the things that I want to do is to work with the nuclear industry, scientists and engineers, to find out what is a safe and appropriate approach to nuclear waste if we want to expand nuclear waste overall.
All right, Senator, as always, good to talk to you. Hope you're coming back to Nevada. You might have heard we're a battleground state this year.
John, you know I love Nevada, and more importantly, I love debating you on your show. So I've got to get back there soon.
That's a commitment to come on face to face. Thanks, Senator.
See you, man.
All right.
Bye-bye.